Hey everybody, Qroo here. Welcome to the channel. I've had several viewers ask me to start doing videos comparing a verb with its pronominal form, and don't let those English grammatical terms scare you. An example would be parecer and parecerse. So parecerse is the pronominal form of the verb. And when I say pronominal, I'm talking about the verbs that end with se when they're in the infinitive or unconjugated form. Examples of that would be lavarse, acostarse, dormirse. In this video, I'm going to be talking about parecer and parecerse. All right, we're going to be playing with these a little bit, and I'm going to show you that in the pronominal form, it's going to have a completely different meaning. But we're going to play with both of them. I think you're going to learn a lot. All right, so let's start with parecer. It can mean to seem, and we often use it to think something or render some type of opinion about something. Now, that's different than parecerse, which means to resemble or look like something. Before we start, let's go ahead and look at the conjugations of the verb in the present tense. And this is courtesy of wordreference.com. I went ahead and did this in parecerse because the actual root verb doesn't change, the exact same conjugations. When you're using the pronominal form, you're gonna have to pay attention to that first part, that little me, te, se, nos, os, or se. If you need to take a screenshot of that or write them down, go ahead. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, so let's go ahead and start with parecer. I use this verb all the time to ask someone what they think about something, meaning what's their opinion about something. ¿Qué te parece? ¿Qué te parece? Literally, what does it seem to you, but more like, what do you think? What's your opinion? Quiero mudarme a México. ¿Qué te parece? I want to move to Mexico. What do you think? What's your opinion? Quiero vender mi casa. ¿Qué te parece? I want to sell my house. What do you think? The person could answer, me gusta la idea, or however, or they can just give you the catch-all phrase you should definitely learn, me parece bien. Me parece bien. Meaning, sounds good to me. I like it. I like whatever you're saying. Me parece bien. This is also a useful sentence starter. ¿Qué te parece si? What do you think if we do whatever, right? In fact, that's exactly how I'd put it in my word list. ¿Qué te parece si? Now, if you're talking to somebody in the formal, the usted, you would change that te to le. ¿Qué le parece si? ¿Qué te parece si hacemos un video sobre qué te parece? What would you think if I did a video about ¿qué te parece? A good alternative to using ¿qué te parece when you want to ask somebody's opinion is just to use ¿qué tal si, right? How about if whatever? ¿Qué tal si nos mudamos a México? How about we move to Mexico? Like, what's your opinion on that, right? ¿Qué tal si nos sentamos aquí? How about we sit here, you know? Parecer can also mean like to seem, but you're still rendering some type of opinion with this. Juan me parece inteligente. Juan seems intelligent to me. María me parece muy fastidiosa. Maria seems very annoying to me. All right, so let's move on to parecerse a, to resemble or look like. Now, when I mentioned it earlier, I didn't put that little a after it. So what is that a? I've said this multiple times. When you're learning a verb and it uses a particular preposition that may not match English, you should definitely put it on your word list as that and include the preposition. And that's what we have here. So we have parecerse a means to resemble something or someone. You're going to be using that a in there. Me parezco a mi abuelo. I look like my grandfather, or I resemble my grandfather. Mi hermano se parece a su maestro. My brother looks like his teacher, or resembles his teacher. Juan se parece a Mario. Juan looks like Mario. So that's a pretty easy usage, right? Well, you can also use this verb in a reciprocal way, and in that case, you will not be using the a, all right? We resemble each other. Nos parecemos. All of the brothers look alike. Todos los hermanos se parecen. Todos los hermanos se parecen. Piece of cake, right? Now let's talk about me, him, her, us, etc., and using those types of pronouns with this construction, okay? These are the pronouns that will typically follow prepositions in Spanish, and here we have a preposition. It is that a. So here they are. Me. Me. That one's pretty easy, right? Just spelled differently. Ti, you, informal, that's the tu form. Él, him. I know that él with an accent means he, but after a preposition, it means him, which makes it easier, right? Because you already learned the word él, right? So just plugging it in. Less to learn. You're going to see this pattern repeated for the rest of our list. Ella, her. Usted, you formal. Nosotros or nosotras, us. Vosotros or vosotras, meaning you, plural, informal. And that's for you folks who are studying Spanish from Spain. If you're in Latin America, we're going to be using ustedes for that. And then we have ellos or ellas, meaning them. Super easy, right? So let's start plugging these in. Juan looks like me. Juan se parece a mí. I think Juan looks like you. Creo que Juan se parece a ti. No, I think Juan looks like him. Creo que Juan se parece a él. It's not tough because we're just repeating a pattern, and that is learning Spanish. It's learning a pattern and being able to repeat that pattern in different situations, all right? Now, to be honest with you, I could just stop the lesson right here, or maybe, you know, do a few exercises because I know you guys love those. But then I would be doing you a disservice because you would likely come across this type of construction at some point. No es el Caribe, pero se le parece. It's not the Caribbean, but it looks like it, or it resembles it. Here's another one. No estamos en recesión, pero se le parece. We're not in a recession, but it looks like it. It resembles it, right? If you pay attention, you'll actually see this type of construction used a lot when we're not talking about a person, but we're referring to like it. And especially in this type of construction. It's not this, but it seems like it, all right? So even if you want to put it on your word list like that, that's a good way to do it. No es parte de la serie, pero se le parece. It's not part of the series, but it seems like it. It looks like it. See if you can do this one. It's not paradise, but it looks like it. No es el paraíso, pero se le parece. Did you get that one? If you did, you've got this down. It's a lock, right? You may see this construction used for people as well. For example, he looks like him could be se parece a él or se le parece. Personally, I would recommend sticking with the first one because I think it's easier and it follows the pattern I've already shown you. All right, that was a great segue into our exercises. So let's go ahead and do like 4 of them, okay? We're not gonna be here all day. Same drill as always. I'm gonna give you the English. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to translate into Spanish. Pause the video if you need to. Ready? I resemble my grandfather. Me parezco a mi abuelo. Me parezco a mi abuelo. The brothers look like each other. Los hermanos se parecen. Los hermanos se parecen. I think Maria looks like her. Creo que María se parece a ella. Creo que María se parece a ella. Now, if you use that other construction there, María se le parece, it's still correct. Again, I think the first one's much easier. And this is our last one, so let's finish strong on this thing, okay? It's not New York, but it looks like it, or it seems like it. No es Nueva York, pero se le parece. No es Nueva York, pero se le parece. Did you get all those right? If you got them right, you've got this thing down. Give yourself a big pat on the back. If you missed a couple of them, don't worry about it. You might have to watch the video more than once, which I actually encourage because, well, that generates revenue, you know, and that helps me out. So I appreciate that. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and just give it a thumbs up. And until next time, hasta luego.